Hey guys, I'm Corey from DressCoreyLynn.com, and today I'm going to show you a really quick tutorial on how I do my loose everyday curls. I get asked this question almost every day, so I thought I would just put together a quick video and show you how it's done. So let's get started. So you're basically going to start with clean wet hair. I don't wash my hair very often, but I thought I would take you from a hair washing day because there's a couple different products that I put in my hair to make my curls last longer and look smoother. The first is this Moroccan oil, and I just put a teeny tiny bit, and I put it mostly in the roots, or the tips, excuse me, and then I work my way up to the roots. But the second product is, this is my secret weapon for having your curls look fuller and last longer. I have really thick, kind of heavy hair, so the curls kind of weigh it down and then it'll fall out really easy, but when I use this, it's just an excess mousse, and it doesn't take very much, but it makes the curls last so much longer. So I just put like maybe that much in my hand. And then I actually start on the roots with this one because it gives my hair a little more body, and then I work it all the way through to the tips. My blow dryer, and I just blow dry it out. So now we're all done blow drying, and as you can see, my hair is kind of big and a little bit frizzy, and I still have some cowlicks around my head that are poking out, but don't worry about that. Because my hair is so clean, we want to add a little extra texture. We're going to put some dry shampoo in it. This is one of 3 or 4 different kinds of dry shampoo that I use, and I will link to all of my favorites below. And what I do is I just spray a little bit in my roots. That will give me a little bit more lift in my roots and keep my hair from kind of sticking to my head even though it's really heavy. So I just spray a little in my roots and just work it in. And I also spray dry shampoo in the ends of my hair because it gives it a little more texture, and then it grabs the curl and holds onto it a little bit better. Now, once I get dry shampoo in, I'm going to take my hair and I'm going to separate it. I'm going to pull up all the top part of my hair. Okay, now we're finally ready to actually get started curling. So this is actually a really simple process. Basically, I know a lot of people use really fancy curling irons, but I actually don't. I use a Conair. I think it's 1 to 1.25 inches. I'll have to check on that, but I'll also link to it below. It's like a $30 curling iron, and I know I could probably get a better one, but this one works great, so why mess with it if it isn't broken, right? So the first thing I do is I divide my hair up into 1-inch pieces. And my trick is that I always curl away from my face. So I just take a little 1-inch piece about this much, and then I get my curling iron, and I start at the top of the hair and I roll it as I go. And I roll back, just like this. I get to the end. Oh, sometimes it falls out, so I'm not used to doing it in front of the camera, so don't mind me. I roll it up, and then once it gets to the end, I hold it for a second to really get the curls cemented, and then I roll it out. I feel like the release is half of the important part. So that's the first curl. Now, one of my tricks is that after I curl my hair, I don't do anything to it the entire time while it's cooling off. This helps the curl to set and stay for longer. So I just let it be and I go to the second piece. Just adjust that. And then the point about rolling it up like this is that by doing that, the heat's staying longer in the middle of the hair, which is good because the ends are the most delicate part of your hair, and also it helps to hold the curl higher up, and then the curl lasts longer and it looks fuller in the right spots, I guess. There we go. Once I get done with all of that, I am going to go ahead and take my hairspray, and I just use this really awesome Pantene alcohol-free hairspray, and I just am going to spray the bottom of my hair. Just a little spray, and then before I let the top down, I'm going to pull out my chi. And I'm just going to smooth out these parts right by my face where my cowlicks that I have several of like to kind of cause little problems, so that it just looks really nice and kind of goes back from my face smoothly. So just kind of like that. So to get done with that, it's time to curl the top of my hair. So pull down the top, comb it out again. And then I'm just going to part my hair. I like to part my hair sort of like down the middle, even though I have like a big cowlick that doesn't really want to do that. I just part it. And then one of my tricks is that I pull, after I part it down the middle, I just pull like little pieces back over so it looks just a little more natural. Sometimes it works really well, sometimes it doesn't work at all. So here we go. Okay, once it's down, I make sure that each side is combed out. The side I'm starting with, I guess. Comb it out. And I never start with the hair right by my face first. I always do that hair last, so I kind of let it fall down. My hair is layered a little shorter by my face than at the rest, so that just sits in the front like that. And then I start curling in 1-inch sections again, away from my face. So here we go. Okay, so you can see that the curls are starting to really form. After I've done those back pieces, I go ahead and go forward. And I pull out my front piece. This is probably like the most important piece that you're going to curl because it's the one that frames your face. So you want to make sure you get a nice clean roll up. So take the pieces. Them once again away from my face, starting in the middle and then rolling them up gradually. And then I don't hold the piece by my face as long. because I don't want it to be too tight, like it ends up looking a little bit like Shirley Temple. Okay. All right, now it's all curled on that side. That looks a little bit not exactly the way I want it. I'm gonna let it sit while I curl the other side because I want it to cool completely before I do anything with it. So I pull out the other side. Now it's all curled, so I'm gonna get my straightener out again, and I'm just gonna run it through the top. If I get little kinks, any parts that are kinked from pulling my hair up, or okay, after they've sat for a few minutes, I just sort of run my hands through my roots, just like this. And what that does is it kind of like brings all the curls together. I don't brush through them, especially not in the morning, because I don't want them to get all pulled out too fast, especially by, you know, if you do that within like an hour, your curls are going to be really flat. But if you push them together kind of at your roots, kind of like build up a little volume at your roots, and then you really start to get pretty big curls that kind of meld together nicely. And I just spray it one more time, kind of get it set into place. I really like this hairspray because it's super lightweight, it's not sticky, and it doesn't leave you feeling kind of like your hair is really stiff. So sometimes if my hair is looking a little stringy at the bottom, I'll just give it a little brush like this. Brush through it. And that's it. That's how I get my everyday curls. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them down in the comments, and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And yeah, have a great day.